push-up losers. Don't say 20 push-ups for the loser, because they didn't want to lose. When they lost by their own mental score of 20-0 that they already know they lost by, now they gotta do push-ups on top of that. It's no good. Eliminate that. It's old school training. Okay, we don't want that. Don't over-reward the winners. Okay, don't make a huge ceremony and parade for the winner. So like the guy wins. All right, the champion, the winner, Jose. Guys, give Jose a hand. Jose won. He beat Peter. Give him a hand to Jose. You know? Like, we get it. He won. Sometimes I'll give a free Gatorade prize to someone that pulls off the coolest move or something. But I never like give necessarily rewards to the winners. Like I never give, okay, whoever wins this thing gets a free Gatorade. I do give prizes to people who pull off the move of the day or something like that. But I never give prizes. See, that's friendly competition. When you give a prize to somebody for whoever, okay, the first person to pull off the move I just taught will win a free Gatorade, and the whole class is competing together to try to get that prize. And when they don't get it, they don't feel bad about themselves. It's kind of a fun challenge. But when you reward the winner of each match, it creates more hostility. Like the guy who loses feels worse about losing. Don't encourage the students not to compare themselves to others, but rather compare themselves to their own previous performances. There are students that get all bummed out because a guy who's only been training for a year is beating them and they've been training for 2 years, or a guy that they started with at the same time is already beating and doing better than he is, and they start together. You want to try to get your students to compare themselves to themselves. And sometimes they'll voice it, oh man, I can't believe Pedro's doing so much better than me. We started at the same time, or I started before him, and he's doing so much better than me. Because then I'll read for him and go, wait a second though, Pedro, remember how you were doing 2 months ago? You've gotten a lot better in the past 2 months, haven't you? That's what you need to focus on. I lost my first 11 matches in a row. Won one match and lost 7 more in a row. So I was 1-18. Okay? The guy who was captain of my team at the time, he was something like 20-10. The next year, I went 22-5, and I became ranked 7th in the state. That same captain did nothing with it. I ended up surpassing him, becoming better than him. And I ended up dominoing from there and becoming the national champion several times in submission grappling. So, had I been measuring my success versus our captain, I would have never gotten to where I was. I always focused on myself. So what, I was 1-18. Took longer for people to pin me in wrestling than it did in the beginning, right? When I started off my wrestling career. Like, I used to get pinned in 1 minute, now I'm getting pinned in 3 minutes. And that's how I used to compare myself. So, make sure that you create a culture where people are always comparing to themselves. When you catch people comparing to others, make sure you put a break to that. And now, don't pick sides when coaching. In other words, don't just coach one guy. If you're coaching one guy, immediately give advice to the other one. Now, this applies even when you go on high belts. Like sometimes, if I have a purple belt going to white belt, it feels natural to want to coach the white belt for only, because like the purple belt's the much better one, he's going to win anyways. So you're giving the white belt like escape, coaching him how to escape the triangle he's caught in, then how to escape the armbar he's caught in. But this is the thing. The high belts, they're sensitive too. You gotta treat everyone like a little child. And they're sensitive. And believe it or not, they start to think you have something against them. So, I remember I had one brown belt, long, old school brown belt, come up to me and ask me, Mr. Marcos, are you upset with me? I go, why? No, because I feel like you're upset with me. Because I was coaching all the white, I was trying to get him tired. Because look, it was one brown belt and like 10 white belts that day. So, there were no challenge to him. So to make him a challenge, I put him in the middle and threw new white belts to him, 1 minute at a time, and he stayed in the middle so he got exhausted so he could even out the playing field. And I was coaching heavy on all the white belts. So he thought I was trying to punish him. And he actually voiced it to me. Most people would have just thought it and not voiced it. So I was lucky that he mentioned it to me, because it made me realize, oh wow, even with the color belts, you gotta balance out the coaching. So I might do a 2-to-1 ratio. I'll give the white belt 2 tips, but the brown belt 1 tip. But you gotta definitely coach both sides, because they get sensitive. They start to feel favoritism, like they think there's a problem. So that's another important part of promoting healthy competition. So the next thing we'll talk about now is very important, is what I call building guru status. You already heard me talking about the guru status, okay? Now, learning goes just beyond the technique of the gym. It also goes into guru topics like discipline, punctuality, work ethics, the psychology of combat. So you have to think of it this way. What made Mr. Miyagi, The Karate Kid was one of the biggest movies of all time, and it's what made the karate boom in the martial arts. And what made Mr. Miyagi so appealing? It wasn't his abs. It wasn't even his fighting ability, even though he had kick butt fighting ability. What made him, like Joe Piscopo's character, Cobra Kai, that guy had fighting ability, but he came off as such a douchebag, right? So what made Mr. Miyagi so appealing was the guru status, the words of wisdom. You know, he had all the little stories and analogies and stuff, and he had that super wisdom that you wanted to hear what Mr. Miyagi had to say, and oh yes, Mr. Miyagi, you know, like that's what made him what he was, and that's what made karate so popular. So you want to be Mr. Miyagi. Now, what I do is that I use the Mr. Miyagi principle, like of the Asian martial arts, but the philosophy I use is Western philosophies. I use Anthony Robbins stuff, you know, Brian Tracy, you know, all these motivational speakers. I listen to their materials and I use the stuff they're talking about, and I preach it in the class, like Napoleon Hill and stuff. I preach that in the class. So I use the modern psychology, the Western psychology mixed in. I figure it's fitting. We use MMA is a modern martial art, so we use modern psychology. And I built myself as a guru. And it's great because I've learned so much from reading these materials to teach my students, and I've helped my students. I've had countless testimonials of real big impacts I've made on students using the guru stuff. I had one student, I don't know if he wants me to name his name, I'll just go by first name. His name was Lewis. And he was part of my scholarship crew. He used to mop the mats, change the garbage, clean the toilets, do all that kind of stuff to get a discounted rate in his tuition. He was in his 30s, but he really wanted to learn martial arts. He even did a few fights and everything. And he was married with kids, and he was working like I think he was working as in a dental office doing something that was not high paying. You know, he didn't have income, otherwise he wouldn't have been in the scholarship program. And he asked me if we go out to lunch one day to talk about something I brought up in class. I was quoting from Napoleon Hill or something. So I said, yeah, sure, let's go. So I took him out to lunch. It's a retention thing, a mat chat, which I think I'm going to get into the next DVD. And in it, I started talking to him about Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And then I started talking to him about Brian Tracy's Success Mastery Academy. I'm dropping these names on purpose, guys, so you can look up this stuff. Okay, Brian Tracy's Success Mastery Academy, that was an audio set, and Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And he got so amazed by it, by the whole conversation, that he went and bought this stuff. I gave him my story, how it affected me. So he went and he bought the book and the audiobook. And he came back to me maybe 2-3 months later. He said, Master Marcos, that lunch changed my life. I had a big meeting with my family. I quit my job. I started our own company where we got clients. And it's a lot of work. And I'm up to here in work right now, which is why I can't train the school anymore. He quit the school. But it was one of the few times I was happy about someone quitting the school. Like he comes in from time to time, like once a week and stuff, but he's no longer a fighter. But it's better than that, okay? Now he has his own business, and he said it changed his life. And he comes in about once a week, once every other week, sometimes once a month, but he still comes in. But when he comes in, man, smile ear to ear. Got his whole family involved in the business. He's doing good. He's happier as ever been in his life. You know, he thought the rest of his life would be the same because he was already in his 30s doing the same job he's been doing for 10, 15 years. And now he's got his own career, and he attributes it to me in the gym. That's huge. That is why I got into the martial arts, to make a positive impact on people's lives. And you know what? I succeeded with that guy. And although he's probably not going to get his black belt with me, because now his life's going in another direction, he's going to be a black belt in life. And that's part of our philosophy. That's the Mr. Miyagi part of Marco Salon, alright? So, you want to do this. So, what are some topics to become a guru on? I wrote them in the manual, but it's unlimited amount of stuff. But in the manual I wrote the importance of a strong work ethic, discipline, punctuality, psychology of combat, which is tons of mental prep stuff you can look up about psychology of combat. I do webinars on it all the time. Psychology of training, like the drilling stuff we've been talking about. You can just repeat the exact things I've been teaching you guys about hard drilling into your classes. You can read up on sports psychology books, they're everywhere. Goal setting, there's tons of stuff on goal setting you can read about. And you can talk about in regards to getting their black belt. Teamwork, comparing the products to themselves, not those around them. Eliminating bad habits and developing good ones. The importance of not missing class and what to do if you're injured or sick. Like we talk about, keep coming to class if you're injured and take notes on the side, or do what you can do if you have a bad knee and you just hit the bags. You know, if you're sick and you can't come to class, then watch videos at home, or go on YouTube and watch the techniques we have, or go to our web curriculum online and FFA Coach and watch the videos there. Like now, to stay in the game. We talk about never fighting the street and the importance of always keeping you cool. It's very philosophical, because for some people they have a big temper, and the idea of walking away from someone insulting their wife, that's a big thing. Like right now, you probably went, "All right, this guy insulted my wife, I'm gonna kick his butt," right? If I sit down with you, I'll totally convince you otherwise and make you feel good about it. So like there's lots of philosophical stuff about never fighting on the street that you can get into, which will save lives. Street awareness and street survival tactics. Birds of feather flock together, about having the right kinds of friends. You know, the 5 people you hang out with the most, the average of those 5 people is who you are, that kind of thing. And then, you know, like I said, read up Anthony Robbins, read up all these guys. There's so much good stuff out there with modern self-help kind of stuff. So now the next thing, which is also a form of class reset and just a way to change things up, is games. Having games, right? At the end of class, throwing a game in there changes the mood up, gets everyone laughing. Because this is the thing, every class should start with laughter and end with laughter. During the warm-up, when the guys are warming up, you gotta be cracking jokes. Because some people come in a long day and they're just kind of going through the monotony of the thing. You gotta start busting jokes during the warm-up, make people laugh. That's why I'm a cheese ball. I like to make cheese ball jokes, make everyone laugh. Once they start laughing, that's the first part of a successful class. Then when they end the class, it needs to end with laughter. It could be through games. It could be with the mat chat you do at the end. However you choose to do it, it needs to be laughter at the end of class as well. So games are a great way to bring that and to change things up. We're going to go ahead and cut away and show you some samples of some rules of different games that we have at the gym.
Okay, everybody, we're going to be playing body snatchers. So that means you're going to drop to your knees. Go ahead, drop. Now, the goal of this game, if you're on this side of the team, is to grab somebody from over here and drag them over your line. Once their hips go over the line, you pull them in and he collapses like this, boom, he's out of the game. Okay? You can't stand up at any point in the game. You have to stay on your floors. You can like bear crawl and stuff, but you can't come up to the flat on your feet. But you can attack like 10 people on one person, however you want to do it. Okay, it's very simple. Now the other thing, all right, move this boundary a little bit more.
We don't really need these ropes. They're just gonna get in the way, huh?
Don't worry. Move it one little back. All right, you can't go behind your line unless you're dragging somebody over. Okay, so you can't just be like sitting here stalling and waiting. All right, you always have to be at least in front of your line. The only time you can go behind your line is if you're pulling somebody over. Anybody understand?
Yes, sir.
All right.
It's one-on-one or can we?
No, you can double. You can
on the round.
This is gonna look like a zombie apocalypse. It's like 10 people pulling one guy. Right? Let's get ready. Go, get in the line,
Everybody up on the line. Everybody come up on the line.
Hey, go!
Hell no, you gonna get my boy dog. Get my leg.
Sorry. Grab the ankle, Ziggy. Grab his ankle. Out. I got it. Yoshi, you're out. Don't pull his shirt. Don't pull his shirt. Yeah, once you're out, stand up.
Yo, get my boy! Hey! Daniel, come on, boy! Here! Here!
Got it right here. He's out. Break. He's got a bad leg.
Help me. Yeah, you're out. Help me.
Grab him.
She's out.
Daniel, right here! He's your boy!
You can bounce it, right?
Get it out!
Lock the light is here.
Let's go. It can't stop.
God damn. Get this more, guys. Go, let's get him. Oh, please, let's go.
Hey, you're behind their line. Yeah, you can't go behind line.
Oh, you can't your line.
You gotta move forward. Move forward.
Let's go.
Move forward.
Let's go.
Oh no!
Let's go. Help me. I got him. Help me.
Fight!
Choking him, bro.
All right.
Nice save.
Two more.
All right, everybody. We got two.
Take it here. Go behind line.
Dude, they pulled me like a chicken. Like, man, my legs are going. Let's see the video. I look.
Somebody grab Rob. He's behind the line.
Help me. Go.
Suplex him.
Suplex!
Roll. Get a roll.
He's on two.
Not turning off.
He's not jumping. He's out.
Nice! That's a champion, bro! He's a fighter! Hell yeah! Do it for us, man! Do it for us! Flip it that! Don't walk you, dog! Don't push him!
Jason, he's past the line.
No, not. Line's back there.
Push him off you!
Jason, get out.
Line's back.
Pull him through the line! Pull him through the line! Gangster!
Deer's toes.
Grab that leg! Grab that leg, man! Snatch that leg, yeah!
Biggie, don't go down.
White people got to help him!
Deer, tell him to get
Get him! Get him!
Colossus, you gotta move
Get
forward.
him! Get his neck! Yeah!
Colossus.
Colossus down! Colossus!
Come on, Robert. Don't let them take you back to Cuba. No, say no. Fidel's looking for you.
Libertà!
Oh, Charles. Keep going, Robert.
Lift them up in the air.
Robert, you keep going. Push.
Libertad.
Dale, reventa.
Bro, his son brought some